Good morning, everybody. What's up? What's up? Happy Monday, the 13th. I'm here at my first location. I just got done push mowing. I had a bunch of comments of you guys wanting some tips and tricks of how I run my lawn care business and things that I can do to help you guys out. One tip would be stay away from battery operated stuff. I know there might be some savings in the long run, maybe with gas, but it's just it's really a pain because every single day I mow like 3 to 4 times a week, but every single day I have to take this thing out and I have to put it in my house and I have to charge it, and it's just one more thing I have to do every single day. And don't forget also, these two batteries, this one right here, which is a M18 XC 8.0, and this one is the M18 12.0. They're both bad. They are months old. I got the 8.0 literally 6-7 months ago when I got a chainsaw, and I tried to find, I think that's when I got it, but it doesn't matter. They're not that old. Milwaukee does have a warranty. I have to go on the website and fill out some information and then mail those batteries, but it's just something else I have to do that I don't want to do. I guess you can kind of look at it as like it's also maintenance, you know, like weed whackers that are gas powered have maintenance too, but I guess there's just positive and negatives of both. But you're gonna get more power and way more run time, and that one's actually lighter than these Milwaukees. Right now I have them on my my setup because it's they're backups. Also, I have Milwaukee's battery operated push mower. No complaints on this thing whatsoever, but one of the biggest downfalls is the size of it, but the weight's nice. I can pick it up and throw it in the bed of my truck pretty nice. But if you guys have room on your trailer and you can put a push mower on there, I would just recommend that. Or if you're a bigger company, you can just get a stand-on mower, like a 36 or 30, however big those ones are. So I'd stay away from battery. I've been using them for a few weeks now, and that's just my opinion. Also, for those of you that don't know, this is my new setup. This is the same setup I rocked last year. I just moved some stuff around. I only have one backpack blower on here now too. I didn't need the 18-foot trailer. It just didn't make sense with just me running by myself. But yeah, so I got the push mower in the back of the truck. I got these. I'm gonna put a box up here shortly. The one I had on here had a big crack in the top of it. It was plastic, but it had a big crack on the top, and it was leaking water in there, obviously. So that sucks. But it looks like I might need some air in this tire. That's a bummer. I put my cargo buckles back on. Those of you that seen those from last year. So this is another good tip for those of you that run a utility trailer that have walls on them and you're tired of this gate just smacking back and forth. Put some cargo buckles on there. It'll be super tight, won't go anywhere. Won't make that awful rattling noise going down the road. Also, another big tip is try to put as much as you can on the passenger side of your truck, van, car, whatever it is that you use, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to park on, you know, the side of the road. And this side of I'm in someone's driveway right now. I have that luxury, but typically you'd be parking on the side of the road, but then you'd be on this side, you'd be out of traffic, you'd be safe, you wouldn't have to worry about cars running into you, cars running into your trailers, stuff of that sort. Another big tip is always carry string on you. Always carry another extra line of string on you. That way there you don't have to run all the way back to your vehicle to load up on your string. Try not to bounce your heads. If you have speed heads, try not to bounce them on concrete or hard objects where they're going to break or crack, or they're going to just get scuffed up. Try to hit them, you know, away from those hard objects. Also, another tip that I have for you guys just to speed up the process, most of my stuff that I need is on this side. like I said, most of it, like, this is not for customers. Don't look at that and say that's for customers. That's 100% for my house. I just haven't taken it out. So I have this in here strictly for tires. So if I get a flat on my truck, I already have the socket right here in my door. Goes on the big boy, pop that tire off, good to go. I'm not going to sit here with a tire iron for 25 minutes. Also, get these in 5-gallon increments if you can. And then also I have string already made up in this bag right here. So there's just a bunch of them already made. I just grab them, throw them in my pocket. And I have one of these bags, and I have another one over there that's full. There's like 12 or 14 of them in there, so they're good to go. So maybe for a half an hour out of the week, sometime when I'm doing maintenance or whatever, I'll run a whole spool. You can see I got some down there. I'll just run a whole spool, make up a bunch of those. Also, related to this that makes 5 gallons, I will give you another tip, and that tip is, if you are running gas cans like this with mixtures like I am, if you have them just sitting in the bed of your truck, and let's say, or your van or your car or whatever, you don't have them in racks on your trailer, and you pick them up and you use them to fill up your weed whackers and leaf blowers and stuff, then yeah, go with a 2.5 gallon, but just go with the 5 gallon if you're gonna put it on your trailer. And if you have 2 of them, just get 2 5 gallons. I'm telling you, the 2.5 gallon is just like a waste of time. Like, it really is. Just get 2 5 gallon ones. Also, another tip is, if you can, put a hose on. So this is just like a food grade clear hose, and I just have it right there clamped on to the original hose that goes on these gas cans. They are fantastic, and I'll tell you why. Because when I want to fill up my weed whacker, I can bring it all the way down to the ground, the gas can, or the gas, I mean. I can bring it all the way down to the ground, all the way to the ground, and I don't have to worry about holding the weed whacker in my hand. I can just leave it on the ground, fill it up, tighten it up, and go on without my way. Just a little bit, you know, just the little things. Same thing with the leaf blower. I can just put it on the ground, run the hose down. And if you guys have yours in your bed of your truck, you could do the same thing. You could put a hose on it and then just drop your tailgate or whatever, put your blower or whatever on the ground, run the hose right to it. It's good to go. I get a lot less spill with that too. I think it's because just I have that extra like 2.5, 3 feet. Let's see, what else do I got here for tips? Yeah, just put everything you can on the passenger side, and also for tips, I mean, that's some. If I come across some other ones, I'll let you guys know. But I'm gonna weed whack this yard real quick, so I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right, I just thought about another tip. Bi-weekly accounts. Yes, they can be profitable. You can make money on bi-weekly accounts. There's a lot of people who try to justify saying bi-weekly accounts are, you have to like take twice as long to cut them. No, you really don't. Also, my bi-weeklies are always 20% more than what my weekly accounts are. So if I'm there an extra 5 minutes mowing that grass, that's totally fine. And on my bi-weekly accounts, my weed whacking is going to take the same amount of time as if I was just doing it weekly. It's just how it is. It's not going to take me an extra 5 minutes on the weed whacker, 10 minutes on the weed whacker. It's not going to take me extra time to unload the trailer or park the truck and trailer. Like, there's the only extra time that might be added is if I might have to do a double pass on the grass because I missed something, or because it's a little bit longer, or if I have to like blow some grass clumps off of the lawn like that. But you're only talking a couple minutes, and when you're charging somebody $10 to $15 or $20 more for just those couple of minutes, you're making money. So don't let anybody tell you that bi-weeklies are not good. The only time that bi-weeklies are not good is if you are maxed out on accounts. If, for instance, let's just make it easy and say you can only mow 50 yards a week. If you're at 50 yards, you need to stop taking bi-weeklies because they are taking up your weekly spots. So that's about the only reason you would say no to bi-weeklies, is when you just start getting way too many accounts. Okay, that is my tip for you guys on that as well. So I hope that helps. All right, guys, another tip for you: do what you do. Do you. If you have a standard, hold yourself to it and do that. For an example, 2 weeks ago, I got a phone. 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call from a lady who I did a fall cleanup for last year. She loved the service, paid the service, nothing was wrong, blah, blah, blah. We went our separate ways. That was it. And then this spring, she gave me a call. She said, hey, can you do a spring cleanup? And then also, could you put me on the schedule for a weekly mow? I said, absolutely. I gave her the price. It was about half of what the fall cleanup was because it was mainly just sticks. But she had told me numerous times over the phone, she said, it's an old country lawn. You don't have to worry about making it look pretty and doing all the trimming around the house and all that stuff. Just mow it down. Just keep it under control, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, that's great. And then I gave her a price for that service. Well, excuse me. Well, after I did her first cut, I called her up today just to verify that we were still doing weekly services. Just wanted to make sure, because, you know, sometimes people just for some reason, you know, I just wanted to make sure. So I gave her a call. We talked on the phone and she told me, well, last time you were out, you cut the grass and you missed a whole bunch of spots and this, that, and the other. And she wanted the entire property string trimmed and this and stuff like that. Like, and that's totally my fault, because I never should have let somebody else tell me how to do my job. I mean, maybe they're trying to save me a little bit of money, you know, but at the end of the day, it's your lawn, you're on it, you're on your mowers with your shirts on. Like, that's your work that people are gonna judge. So when you're there, just do what you do it perfect, make it beautiful. And regardless of what they say, like, if they're trying to save a couple bucks or whatever, you're probably just better off just not taking the property. If someone tells you, oh, I don't need it string trimmed and I don't need this, you know, and it's a basic service that you always do on all your properties, just tell them, hey, I'm probably just not the person for you. And I should have, when I was dealing with that last week, I should have just straight up did what I always do on every single property, and that's leave it beautiful and string trim around everything and make it all look great. But I was like dead tired. It was last Monday when I did 12 accounts that day. I was dead tired and I was just like ready to be home, and I finally was just like, okay, I'm done, and this is what she said she wanted. And then she, you know, like I said, we talked, and then it's not what she wanted. So don't let people tell you what to do. You just do what you're gonna do, and if they don't like it, then have them find somebody else. It's that simple. So keep that in mind, you guys, when you're bidding properties or talking to clients about jobs. And that goes for everything too. That's not just cutting grass. That also goes for people trying to cut corners and save money anywhere they can. And for every single one of you guys in the comments that are saying raise your prices, raise your prices, raise your prices, no, I'm not gonna raise my prices. Okay, I have my prices where they need to be so that I can make a certain amount of money per hour, and I'm doing that just fine. There are some clients that I have that are bi-weekly that I need to adjust because their growth is out of control, but I'm also going to wait another month and see if it's just because it's the springtime and everything's growing too fast right now. But as far as my prices being raised, I don't need to raise my prices. I don't need to raise my prices until I pick up about 30 more clients, and then I'm gonna raise my prices because my client list is gonna get a little full, a little crowded, and I'm gonna have to start letting some people go, and raising some prices is the easiest way to do that. So please stop commenting and saying you need to raise your prices, because I do not need to raise my prices. I've gotten so many quotes from multiple different companies out here. I mean multiple, like 10 to 15 different companies out here, and asking them to bid my house or somebody else's property for me, like my mother-in-law's property, and they all give me prices that are way below what I charge. And I've talked to a couple other companies out here also, and I asked them what their hourly rate is, and it's about $5 to $10 lower than what my hourly rate is. So I have no problems with the prices that I have. I'm gonna just stick to where I'm at. I do appreciate the comments and you guys giving me some information, but please don't just comment and say raise your prices. Like, have some kind of reasoning behind why I should raise my prices. What up? So it is 12 o'clock. I'm at home. I'm still working. I'm on lunch. That's the beautiful thing about owning your own business, is you can go home for lunch if you want, and I could take an hour. I could take 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. So a tip I wanted to give you guys, another tip, is don't live on a road with a lot of traffic. I'm just kidding. But no, another tip, I keep seeing people with their their trailer setups, their lawn care setups. They have their string trimmer, their spool is on their trailer. Don't do that. You have to realize that your string trimmer is out and it's just in the elements all day long, just baking in the sun, just becoming brittle. It's getting hit by the rain, the water, the dirt, the wind, the sun. Like, it's just tearing that line apart. I'm telling you, I see a lot of people doing it. And why? Like, take the spool off and throw it in your truck, throw it in your van, throw it in your car, whatever vehicle it is that you use. Just put it inside of your vehicle. If some chance, for some reason, you can't do that, which I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, put it in a bucket on your trailer. I know it sounds silly, but here's why. There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing this. This right here is simply, this is one spool. So when my trimmer line runs out, I always have one on me. It's always in my pocket. So when my trimmer runs out of line, I can just reach into my pocket, grab it, rip this duct tape off, and just spool it up, good to go. I don't have to go back to the truck. I don't ever have to stand on the side of the road and yank, like, you know, 3 arm lines and then cut it and then spool it up at the trailer. I don't ever have to do that stuff. This can be done on rainy days. This can be done on weekends. This could be done while you're doing mower maintenance. I have enough of these made up already to last me another probably 3-4 weeks. Literally, you could take 1 hour out of your entire busy season, take 1 hour in January or February or March, or even in the off season. You could take 1 hour out of your time and then wrap up 2 huge spools with these. Just wrap them up. And then what I have mine in, which is really weird, is it's just in a big 1 gallon Ziploc bag. There's like 20 or 30 of these like in my truck right now. And you can just, I did the entire spool I had left over from last year, and that's how much I've made up. And I kind of wanted to see how many of these I go through. And what's really nice is it tells you on the actual package about this string is you don't want it to be dry. You don't want it out in the elements. I don't know if that's what it says exactly, but it says to store this with a wet sponge, to store this like in water. I've seen some people put them in water. Like, it doesn't like to be out in the heat in the sun because it's plastic, it's brittle, it'll break apart. You could save yourself a lot of time and money and energy by just doing individual spools like this. And all I did was just a strip of duct tape. That's all I did. I wrapped it around my hand over and over and over and over and over, and then I took it like this, and I had a strip of duct tape, and I wrapped it around there. Now it's a little tab. I literally just go whoosh, throw that in my pocket, and I'm good to go. Now it's literally the arm length that I need for my spools. This is a great way for you guys to be more efficient. And maybe you have other people who they run out of string trimmer and they're like, dang it, they have to run all the way back to the truck. And another cool thing I keep telling myself, but I keep forgetting, is to get like a big, I have one right here in my keychain, to get one of these big hooks, but much bigger, like from the dollar store or Amazon or whatever, and then hook that to the handle on your string trimmer, and then put like 2 or 3 or 4 of these on that hook. So that way there, when you run out, you just whoosh. But then you also fall into the problem of now this is sitting in the elements. So like, I'm just, for those of you that like don't have any pocket space or they can't put them in their pockets, that would be another alternative. So it would be somewhat beneficial, but yeah, this would also be sitting out like with your string trimmer on your trailer in the elements. So just keep that in mind. For those of you that have enclosed trailers, it's not really an issue for you guys to leave your string trimmers in your trailers. But that, for those of you that run utility trailers and those ramp racks and stuff like that, this is a much better alternative. I'm telling you, you'll notice a huge difference. I barely go through this stuff. I use one of these, like, I think I did one spool, one of these last week. That's crazy. And I did like 30 something accounts, 32 or 33 accounts, something like that. I don't know exactly. Also, another tip is a good rule of thumb. Now, this can go a lot of different ways depending on how big your yards are, but right around 30 yards is when you can sharpen your blades, is when you should be sharpening your mower blades. Also, while you're sharpening your mower blades, try to keep track of what you're doing. Like, okay, I did 20 yards this week. Let's take a look at them and see how dull they are. It doesn't take but a second to just reach down there and then look and see how dull it is. Maybe you can get away with 30 yards. Maybe your yards have more sand on them. Maybe they don't. Maybe, you know, your yards are a lot smaller or a lot bigger. You could go by the hour meter on your mower too if you wanted to do something like that. Or if it's just like a rainy day and you're like, oh man, you know, I've only went through 10 or 15 lawns, but it's some downtime. Let me mow, or let me sharpen my blades. Sharpening your blades on your mower is really, it's an important aspect. If you plan on having the same mower for a long time, just buy multiple blades. I mean, you could do that too. You could go if you really wanted to, you could buy enough blades to last you the 27 weeks out of the season, or however long it takes you to do. You could buy 27 sets of blades, or if you do blade swaps every other week or whatever. Most people sharpen their blades weekly, but I'm just saying, like, maybe you bought 10 sets of blades and you're only doing it like 2.5 times a year. You know, you're just swapping the blades, and then at one time you just sharpen a whole bunch of them at once. That's another thing you could do. Swapping blades can be really easy. You can just drop the gate right on your trailer, and you can pull the one wheel up, and then you can get up underneath, zip, zip, replace the blades, pull the mower to the other side, put the one wheel up, zip, zip, you're good to go, you know. So just, it's all about being efficient and using what works. Also, watching YouTube videos just like this one is very beneficial. I got a lot of tips and tricks and what to do and what not to do from YouTube videos. I've got a lot of information from a lot of different people, and sometimes it just works for you and it won't work for me, but at the end of the day, we just got to support each other, and then it's not really a competition between you and me. Like, I want to help you and you should want to help me. Like, that would make us grow better in a business. So hopefully that tip helps you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I got to go mow one more yard, and then I'm going to go do a very small cleanup. It's $200, nothing hard to do. But I don't really think you guys are going to want to watch that video or any of what I got to do. So I'm just going to end it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that's awesome. Follow the journey and see what we do and get some tips and tricks and see how we make that cash. But thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.